Hold up. The intro to this game is great, but every video I see on the internet uses this same intro. So let's just do something a little bit different. Quick disclaimer, most of what I'm doing in this video is just playing the game, but with cheats and getting a look at things you just don't get a proper look at, or you can't see it all. Some other stuff is also added in between as well. And also, there are obviously going to be spoilers. Don't say I didn't warn you. Right as we spawn in, if we decide to follow the harvester that's walking what would be off screen, we can see him awkwardly go out into a space that's out of bounds. He'll sit there for a few seconds and then completely render off the screen. So none of the cutscenes in this game are pre-rendered, so that means they're being rendered live in front of us in the actual scene of the map itself, just way out of bounds. So where is that in the map? Well, if we no-click from spawn straight ahead, we can actually see a giant box with the planet. There's like a little nebula off in the distance as well. And if we get up a little bit closer to the planet and circle around it, we can actually see that it's fully rendered on all sides. And if we get a little bit closer, we've also got the tiny little ships. Now the ships aren't actually that small, but in the cutscene you wouldn't be able to tell the difference regarding the scale. And of course, if we do try and go inside the planet, it's just completely hollow inside.
Warning,
so the USS Patton
incoming
that the
attack.
Marines are on before they run over to the actual shuttle, that is also in the map. We can actually find that not too far from the actual space section. So over here, what we've got is a pretty fully rendered area. The doors are all locked, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to no-click through them anyway. We've got shuttles on both sides. For some reason, this one, the actual like texture of it is flipped, like a mirror flip. It's normal on the other side. All doors in this room are also completely locked. That hole where the space is just a pit with textures to make it look like you're dropping into space. I turned God mode on and just jump in. I just land on it. If I didn't have God mode on, of course I would die. Now we can see the shuttle that the Marines board while they head to the planet before they get hit. We can also find that in the map nearby as well.
Holy shit! It's clearing out a landing zone for a mobile command center.
So we can see that the Marines are all lined up on their seats. They're all unnamed. We're not supposed to see them. They actually have to be named when they're spawned in, otherwise they're unnamed by default. We can also see for some reason Cortez is just floating there chilling. I'm not sure what purpose that serves, but yeah, he's here. We've also got a piece of the interior of the shuttle after it seemingly takes damage. I'm presuming it might have been used in a frame after it got hit from a missile, but otherwise it might have just been left as unused and just left to just exist. Skyboxes aren't new to video games. They basically allow you to cover the whole map in a large texture and let you have animations over it, and it will look a lot larger in the map. That blue light particle that I just saw is actually going to appear in the actual level, and you can actually see it over there to give the illusion that it's actually off in the distance and not in the skybox. I don't see that used a lot, but it looks good when it's there. If you try and save the Marine getting dragged out from the grunt and no-click around so the door doesn't get to close, unfortunately it just stays in place and you cannot kill it. Normally you can't get there quick enough to notice, but if you do, you're unfortunately unable to save them early. So you have to let the door close, and then when it does, he renders out of sight. And then you gotta just do it the normal way. So at the second level, I can see one of the sergeants is shooting at, well, literally nothing. If I get closer to the bunker, I can see it's just a bunch of random particle effects coming out. Nothing really at all, except an illusion. In the other one, there is actual boxes that show the particles that come out of it as well. And there's not even a floor properly rendered in because there's no collision installed. There's also a walker here that you can't go with. And there's also rooms with ammo in it that could be used for a number of different things, but I won't get into it now. Before we continue, I'm not going to go into it further down the video, so I'll just briefly explain here. These rooms could serve the purpose of resource caching, where ammo could spawn in this room and then be teleported from this room to the game where the player is entered, but not render until the player's actually there. That can save up on, resources. They could be garbage disposal rooms. That means that ammo can be sent there from when the player's picked up the ammo, or it could even be both, where ammo is called from the rooms, sent to the level when the player's there, and then when the player picks up the ammo, send it right back there, so it's just not rendered in the actual level where the player's seeing, just to save up resource management. It could even be a complete accident or oversight. I don't think so. There's enough of them around the game levels that I'm almost certain it's intentional, but very small chance. And what I've listed so far doesn't even cover every possible use for these rooms. It's just what I think these rooms are used for, and there are pros and cons to all of them, to be honest. The hangar perimeter doesn't really have anything that exciting to look at, so I may as well just no-clip around and just show all the main bits and pieces. If you want to be a dick, you can also bait the technician into giving you armor, and then set the weapon off and fry his ass.
It worked! Good job, Kane.
And you can also do it with a medic as well, but why the hell would you? No idea, but it's still bloody funny.
It worked! Good job, Kane.
You've also just got another room with props in it. This is the outside of the hangar. Actually looks pretty good for an outdoor section on this engine, because usually they look god-awful. And if you let your intrusive thoughts win and decide to not go with roads to blow up the hangars, but you decide, fuck it, I want to go down with Viper Squad, you can technically just, no-clip down, sit here for a bit, and then everything will unrender on that lift, and you will see it. After unlocking the door so your squad can get through, if you head back up, a strog will actually spawn out of nothing, and you can pop in straight away. Pointless, but fucking hilarious. You've also got some ammo and armor also outside the map that can be picked up. More useless information, but it's there. You can also, with God mode, just sit underneath the Hannibal as it lands. I have no idea why that Marine to my left is doing that. That should have one-hit him. I have no idea how it hasn't, but that's fucking funny. And Sergeant Boris is still over the comm telling me to hurry up, but I sequence skipped and didn't destroy the cannon. He'll be fine. Some of the Marines you can't actually see the names for unless you no-clip, because you can't see it through the glass. Another really weird thing about this map is that there are a few little random scenes. One of them is a helmet next to a flare on some floor. And there's also two Marines that look like they are preparing to engage with the Strong. Really not sure what they were going for, but more interestingly, there is also a fully drivable mech walker in here that you can just pick up and just, shoot it around. They might have thought about introducing it here in like a tutorial, or maybe they just wanted to test it out. I'm not sure why they would have done this, but yeah, it's in this level and you can use it. And just more names of people that you wouldn't be able to ever see unless you no-click through the glass. Completely useless, but they put the effort in to name them, so they must have known people like me were gonna fucking waste their time looking through.
assured by Lieutenant Pierce.
Dead too.
And this
That
dead
I'll
Strog
never forget.
appears to be a Corporal Shane Huxley of Rhino Squad, a Marine that would have likely died probably just before we got assigned to the squad. Now, all the Strog on board the Hannibal are dead, but what happens if we bring live Strog on board the Hannibal? If Marines wearing fatigues get hit, they'll just awkwardly A-pose. If a Marine wearing armor gets hit, they'll die in ragdoll. If the doctors are getting hit, they'll just keep on taking the damage indefinitely. And if it hits one of the Marines that are at a computer or something like that, it can actually crash the game whenever they're killed.
Hey, Marines, you're gonna need this. The extended clip should help in taking down the squid.
I told the Colonel the system would be operational at 1300 hours.
But I've got a power coupling to overhaul, a plasma transducer to realign, and a faulty router to replace.
I don't want excuses. I want that system functional by 1300 hours.
But
That's an order. Yes, sir.
When I say crash the game, I mean more crash the level. When one of the Marines at the computer dies, it'll just send you straight back to the main menu, and you don't get a choice.
Now, there's something I didn't expect. All higher brain functions have atrophied. They told us that which indicates the subject was incapable. We had a rather unpleasant experience with our last Strog cadaver. Attacked us. Not here.
You're also not invincible on this level, but there's nothing that can actually kill you if you're not spawning shit in. So if I just turn God mode off and just fuck around here and wait to the last millisecond, I can actually kill myself before the next level. You also get a nice view of the Hannibal. Unfortunately, you can't no-clip into it and end up in the Hannibal. It's just a really large model, but it still looks pretty good. You also have a bunch of ships that are likely used for the animations during the level. A lot of the flyers you don't really get much interaction with, whether it's the Strog or the Marines. You do get a few there that you see regularly, but then you get some other interesting looking fighters that might have been planned to be used, but were cut, or they were just simply never planned to use to begin with. It's really hard to tell. There's not much info. We also have another interesting vehicle that looks infinitely more fun to drive than the tank or the bloody walker that you only see as decal on the side of the road. Also, the tanks over here that shoot down a flyer while you're on the convoy, they're actually both fully drivable tanks. So not only can you get in them, but you can actually like properly drive around, and you can even just blast the other one if you want to. As you're approaching the end of the canyon level on the convoy, that giant-ass ship in the sky, it looked like it was a small model in the skybox, but no, it's actually a proper scaled ship. It's not rendered in on both sides. It's culled out because you're not really going to get a good look at it. But from what you can see, it actually looks really good. And it's honestly a bit saddening that there's no chance in the game to explore any of these giant-ass ships, because I always thought they looked pretty cool.
Kane, where the hell have you been? Lieutenant Boss wants you to catch up with. Hop on that truck and they'll get you where you need to be.
Yeah, sorry Ben, well, just give me a minute. This isn't even anything interesting, this is more just stupid and annoying. You've got an injured Marine lying in his own fucking blood on the ground, and there is a Marine that's a medic right around the corner that could definitely do something about it, but no, he'd rather be here.
Corporal, I'm a little preoccupied at the moment.
We've also got another room with lots of ammo inside of it that you can pick up. Likely ammo that calls to the actual map itself and just sits there dormant. Now, if you look through here when the grunt smashes the glass, he just disappears.
Almost got your freaking head bent.
And this door looks like it's about to get knocked open by a giant scary enemy, but on the other side it's just, yeah, a dramatic effect. broken the game by sequence breaking, so I don't really have any words for this.
I can't talk right now, I'm busy.
This isn't even supposed to happen. Also, the Marine that gets dragged under this door, you can actually interact. You're not actually fast enough to make it without no clip.
Watch your step, Marine. This place is crawling with squibs.
Corporal, I'm a little preoccupied at the moment. This hit and run bullshit about a priest is gonna be real annoying. Beeman was attacked a few minutes ago. Poor bastard opened the door and wound up flat on his back with a straw chewing on his neck. Hey, you seen Beesman? Wonder how he's doing.
If you complete the level normally, but then no clip back through the level afterwards, this is the only alive Marine to still be rendered in the map. It's just a likely oversight by the developers, but that also, to me, implies that he was left behind to get captured and killed, or even strogified by the Strog, and I find it kind of creepy. You can kill the grunt that drops down, but unfortunately his fate's sealed, where he'll get killed by John Cena if the grunt is dead. If you decide to no-clip past the tank and not ever get in it, you can run through the whole map on foot. Would I recommend doing this map on foot? Fuck no, you're slow enough as it is, but if you wanted to, and you wanted to try and take on these enemies without a bloody hit-scanning tank weapon, go ahead, but the weapons just are not fast enough, they're not accurate enough, and they just don't deal enough damage. Even if you finish this level without the tank, and you just go through the next level while on foot, you obviously spawn into the next level in a tank for obvious reasons as well, so don't bother trying that, it doesn't work. You can kill Harvester with regular weapons too, it does take a little while though. In the level that I did it on the annex level, I had to actually no-clip from the entrance, and it culled out most of the map because you're not supposed to get out there. But you can kill it, and it goes down like a bitch. You've got another room with a bunch of props in it that I've lit up with test lights, nothing exciting. That corridor you couldn't pass through without adjusting the thermometer on it because it'll kill you. Well, it doesn't actually kill you if you no-clip into it. And the giant-ass room with the Harvester walking across, well, it's not actually a giant-ass room, it's actually using a skybox to give that illusion. So if you no-clip out of the map, it's a tiny little space, and there's this little cube here that if you were to drop down into, that is the entire room. So if I place a bunch of test lights around it, and then I decide to no-clip back, I can see that tiny little room with those lights on it affects this entire giant space here.
What are you doing wasting my time? Get on that truck and get moving.
Sorry about that, Sarge, I forgot about you. Just be one more minute, mate. Now, this part always bothered me. I got the Macron right in front of me, you know, the leader of the stroll, and I got that little bitch ass literally in the other room. Why the fuck couldn't he at least come check on me or even help me while I'm, you know, fighting the leader of the struggle? Nah, he's just gonna sit here on the computer and be a little bitch. Now, you can't simply kill the Macron. So if I use console commands, I can delete him out of the map. And if I do that, that essentially soft locks me out of completing the map. But if I was to spawn in another version of the Macron to move the goalposts, then I guess I technically could kill him in the Nexus hub and not get captured. Unfortunately, he will get back up. Let's try a tank. Nah, he can still pick us up with a tank. Unfucking believable. How the hell can you pick up a tank? Well, guess we're getting captured. I just want to thank you so much for watching. This video covers the first 2 acts of the game, but there is a total of 5 acts in the game, so part 2 would have to cover the last 3 acts. I would have done it all in one video, but it would have taken me too long. there isn't as much going on in this game outside of the boundaries. I would have liked for there to have been more going on, but I've still found enough to justify making a video. This video actually took me quite a long time to make, so I'm really hoping it even teaches you a thing or two as well regarding how the game works and what happens in the game. But until then, I'll see you later.